Welcome to the Effortless English Show. Speak fluently. Speak powerfully. Speak English confidently. Join my VIP program. Or get my pronunciation course. Or Power English. Or get them all at EffortlessEnglishClub.com. EffortlessEnglishClub.com. Yesterday, woke up, got out of my bed, and I was tired. I'm sure you have had this kind of feeling in your life at some time. You wake up and you just feel exhausted, right? Like your arms feel weak, your legs feel weak, you have no energy. That's how I felt. Now, I had slept okay. I got enough sleep. I was just physically and mentally exhausted. So I got up, I went to the bathroom, drank some water, thinking, oh, maybe that'll help, maybe just slow to wake up. But no, didn't help. Still, no energy. It was hard to even stand. I just wanted to lay on the ground, lay on the floor. So I made some coffee. And I drank a cup of coffee. Usually, if I drink a cup of coffee in about 10 minutes, I can feel some energy coming, especially in the morning. It kind of wakes me up. That's why most people drink coffee in the morning, right? Well, I did that, and it did not work. No difference. Maybe my mind was a little more awake. I was awake, but still super tired. I drank another cup of coffee. Why not? I drank two. And then I just laid on the floor of our apartment. I just laid around on the floor. Tired. Now, normally, this would not be a problem, right? Normally, because I don't have a normal job, I did not have to go to a job. So, I could have just gone back to bed. Why didn't I just go back to bed? Go back into my bed and just sleep all day. Wow, that's what I should have done, maybe. But no, I had one thought in my mind. Jiu-jitsu, I have a jiu-jitsu lesson today. A private lesson, actually, with the instructor. Private jiu-jitsu lesson. And I thought, oh, maybe I should cancel. Right? Maybe I should cancel. Well, I did decide to skip the group class. I was like, I'm going to skip the group class. I'm too tired. But still, the idea of the private lesson, oh my God, I just thought about it, that, oh my God, how will I do it? The private lesson is 1 hour, and the private lessons are very tough physically. Because in the private lesson, it's only me, so I'm working the whole time. There's really no rest. It's 1 hour the whole time working hard. In a group class, there are points where the instructor is explaining something, or you're waiting for somebody else to do something. So there's little periods of rest in a group class, but in the private class, really no rest. So I laid on the ground like, oh my God, how will I do it? I could have canceled. I have the instructor's Facebook Messenger. I could have messaged him and said, I can't make it today. But I didn't want to cancel. This is the thing. I didn't want to cancel. Even though my whole body was exhausted, my body was telling me, don't do it. But my mind, I'm so excited and enthusiastic and passionate about jiu-jitsu already that in my mind, I couldn't bear. I couldn't stand the thought of missing the lesson. It's like, no, I must go. I must keep learning. Must go. And so, finally, the time came I had to leave the apartment. To go to my lesson, I have a bicycle ride. I have to ride my bike about, it's probably about 35, 40 minutes bicycle ride, depending on how fast I go. Well, it was a slow bicycle ride yesterday because I was exhausted. So I rode the bike nice and slowly. During the bicycle ride, my legs felt so tired just riding the bike slowly to get to the lesson. And the whole time I'm riding, I'm thinking, how am I going to survive the lesson today? I don't know, but I must go. So I arrived. There, and I got there a little early, got changed into the uniform, and waited for the instructor. Now, normally, waiting for the instructor, waiting for the class, I'll do a warm-up, do a little warm-up, get my body warmer, stretch a little. But I was too tired to even do that. So I just sat on the mat, just sat on the floor, looking at the clock, waiting, knowing it's getting closer, a few more minutes, and then boom, the instructor came. He said, "Oh, how are you?" And, "Oh, I'm okay." I didn't tell him I was exhausted. Didn't want him to know. So he started doing a warm-up. We do a little warm-up exercise, push-ups, jumping jacks. During the whole warm-up, oh my God, I just felt tired. I kept looking at the clock during the warm-up as we jog a little bit in a circle and just do little exercises. It's maybe 10, 15 minutes. Oh my God, it was so difficult. It felt so difficult. I was breathing heavy. Normally it's quite easy for me, but yesterday I was breathing heavy just from the workout. And then the lesson started. Then he started to show me some drills, show me some techniques, started practicing the techniques. Quite tough because we were doing something called positional sparring. It's positional fighting. And basically that means I get into a position, a kind of a difficult position, and then I have to fight. I have to fight to escape from the instructor. And of course the instructor's a black belt, so he's really good. So I'm using, oh my God, so much energy. And I started doing it. I'm trying the techniques. He's telling me little points. Do this, do that, change this. And so I started doing fighting. And this continued. Then we did something else. And he taught me another technique. This continued going. And then I just kind of forgot about time, which usually happens in the class. And when I'm doing jiu-jitsu, I just kind of forget about the time. And finally, the 1 hour was finished. We did all these drills, all these positional sparring, then regular sparring. Sparring means like practice fighting. So we did sparring, practice fighting, and then finally the end of the lesson. And then I realized something absolutely amazing. I felt great. I mean, I was tired, physically tired for sure, because I just went through a hard, tough hour of jiu-jitsu. And yet I felt more energized. My mind was completely awake. I was in a really good mood, smiling. I was sweaty, of course. And even my body felt more energized and alive. So I was really happy. I got changed, went to a coffee shop to relax, had a little coffee again, and too much coffee yesterday. Ate my lunch and felt fantastic the rest of the day. Tired, but not exhausted tired. A different kind of tired. Like a tired, but also relaxed and feeling good. So what happened? It's quite interesting. I started thinking about this after the class yesterday. Thinking like, what? This is amazing because I felt so terrible yesterday morning before the class. I was sure the class would be terrible, would be a disaster. I just knew it. I knew I was going to be so tired that I wouldn't be able to learn, that I would be terrible. And instead, it was great. And guess what? I woke up this morning tired again. Better than yesterday for sure. I don't know why better than yesterday, because I had even a harder lesson yesterday. I don't know. I slept pretty well, I guess. Maybe my body's getting used to it. Maybe I was dehydrated yesterday. Not enough water. I don't know, but I woke up today feeling okay, and then once again, I must practice jujitsu. Like obsessed. I'm obsessed with jujitsu. Obsessed means you focus on something so super much, right? So much, too much. You're crazy about this one thing. That's how I am about jujitsu. I don't know why, but with jujitsu, it happened immediately. My first free class. I got one free class to try it. And immediately loved it. Not just liked it, loved it, crazy about it, obsessed. And for this whole month doing it now, I have been obsessed. And I just keep going, even though my body is so tired sometimes. Most of the time, really tired, but I can't skip a class. I do not want to miss one class. Even more, guess what? I come home. I'm super tired after jiu-jitsu. Oh. You know what I do at night? I don't watch movies anymore. I don't watch television anymore. I watch jiu-jitsu videos, instructional videos. I watch matches between famous jiu-jitsu guys against each other. I listen to podcasts talking about mixed martial arts and jiu-jitsu. I talked about this in my last podcast, but it's just interesting. I just crazy obsessed with it. So super passionate about it. And that's why I'm doing it so intense. I'm doing it almost every single day. I have one rest day a week, Sunday. I don't do it simply because there are no classes on Sunday. So I can't do it Sunday, but I watch videos on Sunday. Kind of crazy. But it got me thinking. Why? I started thinking, why? Why am I so super passionate about this? And I mean, immediately, that it doesn't matter how tired I am, I keep going. I don't need motivation for jiu-jitsu. I don't have to push myself. It's almost the opposite. When you are super obsessed in a positive way, okay? Because obsession can be negative too. You can be, obsessed or addicted to drugs. That's super negative. But this one I consider a positive one. And, I think about our really superstar VIP members. I mean, the ones who make big improvements in a short time, who achieve a very high level of English fluency, an advanced level of fluency. And you know what? I noticed they're the same. It's not just the intensity, okay? They do the intensity. I talked about that in the last podcast, the last show. But I also noticed they have this same obsession, this crazy passion for English. Julia, I mentioned Julia last time. I mean, she's crazy about English in a good way, a good crazy. But I mean, she'll just go crazy. English, effortless English, right? Like hours and hours and hours a day. Like she can't stop herself. She just wants to, she can't stop doing it. There's never enough time for English for Julia. Max, Mehdi, Kaula, same. Right? It's not just they're motivated. It's not just they like English. No. They super love English. They're crazy obsessed. Like me with jiu-jitsu. It's the same idea. When you're super obsessed like this, you don't need motivation to practice or to study or to learn. You don't need it. In fact, it's the opposite. It's difficult to stop, right? Like yesterday, maybe I should have stopped myself. Maybe I need some rest, right? Maybe I need more rest. Maybe my body said, AJ, take a break. But I couldn't stop myself. I had to go because I love it so much. And this is the way the superstar VIP members, the ones who get the best success, they're the same way about English. They can't stop. Every moment they want to be listening to English, reading English, listening to this podcast, talking, speaking in English. They're super passionate. So they don't need to get motivated. For them, it's hard to take a break. They have the opposite problem. They can't stop themselves. And this is the secret to super fast improvement. Everybody wants super fast improvement, right? We all get impatient. I want to improve fast. I want to improve more quickly. I want to master English. But the problem is most people are not super passionate. Most people, they're trying to force themselves. I must study English today. So they kind of do it for an hour. And they think, I should do it. I should do 2 hours. And, it's hard work. And they push themselves. And maybe they do 2 hours in one day. And, I did it. And then the next day, again, I'm kind of tired today. I'm busy today. So maybe they skip English tomorrow because they're tired or they're busy, right? They're constantly fighting to be motivated, pushing themselves to do a little more. That's not super passion. Now, I understand that because in jiu-jitsu, I'm crazy passionate. I don't need motivation. I don't need to push myself. I don't need to force myself. It's automatic. In fact, I can't stop myself. If my body would let me, if my body was strong enough, I would do jujitsu 2 times a day or 3 times a day. My body can't handle it. Okay? So that's the only reason I don't do it, because in the evening I'm too tired. And I know I'll get injured. I don't want to get injured, because if I get injured, if I hurt myself seriously, then I know I have to stop jujitsu completely to heal. So that would be a bad. That'd be terrible. So I only do once a day. But if I could do it, I would do more. And see, this is the same way, with Julia, Max, all these guys and women, is that they're so passionate. That 2 hours is nothing for them. 2 hours of English per day, that's nothing. That's it. That's automatic. They do 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. It doesn't matter. As many hours. They just, every moment they have free, English. They, on their phone, they put the setting in English. On their laptop, English. Everything they do is in English, if possible. If they could do it, they probably would stop sleeping and just be listening to English or reading English all night. Okay? But also they have to rest. So when you have this crazy passion, it's easy to create intensity. It's easy. You automatically do it. You can't stop yourself. It's effortless, right? That's where the name Effortless English comes from. It's effortless. You're not using effort. You're not pushing yourself to do it. You're being pulled. Your passion is pulling you to do more and more and more and more and more because you love it so much. That's what you need for massive, super fast improvement. Because see, these 3 things go together. And I think the problem is too many people focus on fast improvement. They think that that's the first thing they think about. Fast improvement. I want fast improvement. Everybody wants to improve quickly. I understand. But then they think, well, how can I improve quickly? Well, intensity. That's really the only way to do it. You have to have maximum intensity to improve quickly. If you don't want maximum intensity, then you have to improve more slowly. Now, that's not bad. A lot of people are okay just to improve gradually, kind of more slowly. In my own life, I'm that way with many different things, right? So jiu-jitsu is super fast, super intense. I can feel myself improving quickly. It's another reason I love it. Compared to 4 weeks ago, I'm already much better. Now, I'm still the worst guy in the class. So if I compare myself to the other students, I'm terrible. But I don't compare myself to the other students because they're more experienced than I am. I compare myself to myself 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago, I knew 0. Now I'm much better. So that also makes me more obsessed, more excited, more passionate. And because I'm more obsessed, more passionate, I create even more intensity, right? I keep going. I go even more. I watch more videos. I practice at home even sometimes, slowly, easily. Always thinking about it. And because I'm always thinking about it and I'm doing it so intensely and doing it almost every single day, I improve more quickly. And because I improve quickly, I get even more excited and passionate. Because I'm passionate, more intensity, right? Up, 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 up. That's how you get super fast improvement. But it's the super passion that comes first. That passionate love is really the thing that creates super fast learning. That's the first part. So don't focus on fast improvement. Oh, when will I improve? Will I improve quickly? Honestly, with jiu-jitsu, I want to improve quickly. I think about it some, but it's not my focus. I'm not focused on all my mistakes. I don't cry because I make mistakes. I don't complain because I'm worse than everybody else. I want to improve for sure, and I definitely feel that I'm improving, but it's not what I'm focused on. I'm focused on just loving it. I just love it. I just enjoy it so much. Even when I lose, and I lose almost every time, sparring, practice fighting, I lose. In fact, I lose every time. If the other guy really tries hard against me, I will lose every time. And I'm still laughing. When I'm losing, I laugh. You know why? I love it because when the other guy beats me, maybe he chokes me, right? He puts his arm around my neck and squeezes my neck. But I laugh and I like it because I realize, oh, that was cool what he just did. What did he do? And I try to figure out, how did he do that, right? I'm still trying to learn from my mistake and from the other guy's successful technique. And even if I don't, usually I can't figure it out completely because it happens quickly, but it's still very interesting to me. Like, wow, that's possible. That's really cool. And I imagine someday maybe I'll do that. And it makes me even more excited again. Now, when in other things in life, for example, golf. I'll give you another example. Golf. I like golf. I enjoy golf. But I'm not super passionate about golf. I don't know. What's the difference? Jiu-jitsu, super passionate immediately. Golf, I like it. I enjoy it, but not like that. It's not the same for me, golf. I try to improve a little bit with golf. When I have a chance, I'll go out and I'll hit balls and try to improve my swing a little bit, get a little bit better. But my improvement in golf is super slow. I'm also really terrible at golf because I don't have a chance to practice very much. And golf also requires a lot of practice. But I'm not as motivated. I just don't feel the passion. For me, golf is something I just like to relax and do with friends. It's a social thing for me. So if I can play with my cousin Phil, if I can play with my dad, I'm happy. I don't really care if I'm good or not. I like to improve, but it's different. And therefore, my improvement in golf is super, 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 super small and very, 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 very slow. And it's okay. I don't mind. So you and your English. First of all, you need to ask yourself, what do you want? What do you want? Are you happy just to improve gradually? That's fine. Don't get stressed about it. If you're happy, if you're learning English as a hobby, just for fun, and you just want to gradually improve little by little, there's nothing wrong with that. You do not have to improve quickly. There's no rule about that, right? It's independent learning. You are the boss. If you want to go slowly and be relaxed about it, like me with golf, that's fine. No problem. Just relax and enjoy. Listen to the podcast, get my lessons, do an hour a day with the lessons. You will gradually improve. No problem. You still get better. You'll be able to communicate well with English. You might not be super advanced, but you'll be good enough. Or, I know a lot of you, you want super fast improvement and you want to be super, super, super good, super advanced. You want that top, super high level of fluency, almost like a native speaker. And you want to do it quickly. That's fine. But if that's the case, you really must become obsessed. You've got to create or find that passionate love for English. Because then that intensity will be easy. Right? So there's 3 steps. Step 1, passionate love for English. For me, it's jiu-jitsu. Step 2, intensity. Right? Maximum intensity. It means you do it every single day, as many hours as possible. You're just focused on it all the time. And then that creates step 3, which is fast improvement. And then the cool thing is, when you feel yourself improving quickly, you get even more excited. Back to step 1 again. That passionate love gets stronger, which makes you want to be even more intense, learn more intensely. And when you're learning even more intensely, you improve even faster, which makes you feel even more excited. Back to number 1 again. So it's a circle that just goes up and up and up and up. We call that a spiral. Upward spiral. We have an idiom in English. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Right? So you need a chicken to create an egg, right? The chicken, female chicken, makes the egg. But to make a chicken, the chicken comes from the egg. So which one comes first? We don't know. It's a mystery. Well, it's kind of like this. Which comes first, fast improvement or intensity or that passionate love, right? And the people get confused by the question and they get so focused. See, the problem is if you focus on number 3, if you focus on improvement, fast improvement, I want fast improvement. AJ, how do I improve faster? This is one of the most common questions I get on Twitter. How can I improve faster? How can I improve my English super fast? I only have 3 months. How can I improve a lot? You're focusing on the wrong thing. If you focus on fast improvement, I know it seems like a good idea, but it's actually a bad idea because it creates stress. If you focus on the improvement, the fast improvement, what happens? Oh, I gotta improve faster. I must improve faster. I must improve faster. So then what happens? You listen to English every day for, 2 hours, 3 hours, let's say, for a week, 7 days. After 7 days, you feel like you didn't improve much. Maybe you did improve, but you don't notice it. Maybe it was a small improvement. Maybe you improved a lot, but you just don't notice it, right? Sometimes we don't realize we're improving. And so you don't notice it. So then, or it seems too small, too slow. So then what happens after a week? I had all this effort this week, but I didn't improve very quickly. So then you get frustrated and a little stressed. God, how do I do it? How do I improve faster? I'll try harder. So you push yourself, you try to force yourself to do more, but you're not enjoying it. You're not loving it. And so it creates a kind of stressful, negative feeling. And that stressful, negative feeling actually hurts your learning. You don't learn as well when you're stressed and frustrated. And eventually you get so frustrated because you're not improving fast enough, and that's your focus. And you're getting more and more frustrated, more and more stressed, that you can't force yourself to keep doing it. You start getting what we say burned out. You get sick of it. You get tired of doing it. Your motivation starts dropping, getting lower, lower, lower. You can't force yourself to do it as much. And eventually you kind of go back to doing very little or nothing at all. You quit for a while. All right? You've probably experienced this. I have with other things too. See, that's why it doesn't work. If you focus on the improvement, the fast improvement, it doesn't work. Now, if you focus on slow improvement, it's not so stressful. But if you focus on fast improvement and you're just focusing on that, you eventually get yourself stressed out and it just doesn't work. So it's actually the wrong thing to focus on. If you focus on the intensity that I talked about last week, this can also be a problem because you say, okay, I'm gonna do a super maximum intensity English this summer, as I ask you to do. That's a great idea. It's a great idea. But if you only focus on that, if that's the main focus, it can also create problems sometimes because you say, I'm going to do 7 hours of English every day. Well, that's a cool idea. That's a great idea. So you do it. You do it the first day, 7 hours, and you fight through it. You fight and you fight. You get kind of tired. I don't know. You do 3 hours and I must do another hour. 4, 5, 6, 7. You do it for the first day, but it's kind of hard. And the next day, again, you force yourself to do it. And the next day, and the next day. But you start getting tired, right? Because you're using force. You're using too much effort. Force. And you start getting tired again. And then what happens usually is you also start thinking about the improvement. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm working so hard, but I'm not improving fast enough. This sucks. This is no good. Your motivation goes down. Frustration goes up. Stress goes up. Once again, same problem. You just can't do it anymore. So you reduce your amount per day or you quit. And this is why you really have to focus on the love, creating that passionate love for English. It's actually the fastest way to improve. It's the best strategy. Don't focus on the improvement, especially not fast improvement. Don't focus on creating the intensity. You can plan to do that, but don't focus on it too much. Focus your mind and your emotions on passionate love for English, increasing your love of English. How do you do that? Well, number one, you got to enjoy what you're doing. So if you're listening to stuff that you hate, bad idea. This is why I tell people don't use textbooks. Almost nobody likes textbooks. Almost nobody enjoys them. So if you try to make yourself do textbooks for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, man, eventually you're going to fail. You're just going to get bored and tired of it. So listen to podcasts, listen to my lessons. You can do a mix of stuff. When you're doing maximum intensity, the cool thing is you have a lot of time. Yes, 7 hours a day, 8 hours a day. You can use a lot of different materials. You could do a Power English lesson for 2 hours a day. And then a VIP lesson for another hour a day. Now you're up to 3. Then you could listen to an audiobook for a couple more hours. Then you could read for a couple more hours. Then you could go back and review one of the other audios, or listen to a different podcast, or watch a TV show, or watch a movie. You can mix in a lot of variety, always choosing things you enjoy that are interesting to you. So, making it fun and enjoyable. This is why I love jiu-jitsu. It's fun, it's enjoyable, it's exciting to me. So you gotta make it fun and interesting. It's far more important to make it fun and interesting than to memorize a bunch of vocabulary or grammar rules or anything like that. That's why I'm always talking about this. You gotta make it fun. You gotta enjoy it. Enjoyment is the most important thing. And a lot of times people don't understand why. They think just have fun. That's not the reason. Having fun is fine, but the reason is the more you love it, the more you will create intensity automatically without effort. You'll want to do it. And the more you create intensity without effort, enjoying it, loving it, the faster you will improve. And you get that upward spiral, that upward circle. Just like I am having now with jiu-jitsu. That's what I want for you with English, to create that same crazy love for English. And then it's effortless. It feels effortless. You wake up and automatically, boom, you turn the English on because you're so excited to do it. You love it so much. You can't stop yourself. Even when you're exhausted and tired. It's a vacation day. Oh, I should skip English. No, I can't. I want to listen to that lesson again. Oh, God, I want to listen to that story. Oh, I'm going to listen to another podcast. Oh, English, I want more. This is why in my book, Effortless English, in my book, the first part of my book is all about emotion. It's all about your mind and your emotions. It's not about English learning techniques. That's the second part of the book. I start the book with emotions. And again, a lot of people, like especially normal teachers in schools, they don't understand this. They never talk about this stuff. And they often don't understand why I do that. They think I'm just, oh yeah, be happy. They think it's some trick. It's not. They don't understand that this is the most important factor, the most important thing to create quick, fast, effortless success. It's this passionate love for the topic, for the subject that you're learning. For you, that's English. For me, that's jiu-jitsu. All right, so this summer, as you create your maximum intensity, where I want you to focus your mind, I want you to focus it on increasing your love for English. Love. This is the word. Love for English. So on the emotion is what's important. This emotion of not like, no, love. And not normal love, passionate love. Passionate love and desire and obsession for English. Let's go to Twitter. I'm going to read Twitter. Twitter questions, or maybe Gab. Let me pull up Gab. I need to do Gab. Gab is open now for everybody, so I am going to start doing Gab more. Gab.ai. Gab is open, and soon Gab will have streaming video, kind of like Periscope or Facebook video. Gab is going to have that too, which is really cool. I look forward to. They call it Gab TV. Right now, they're testing it, so only a few people can do it, but eventually, everybody can do it. Okay, here we go. All right, AJ, just want to thank you very much. This is on Gab from Sarah. I just want to thank you very much and appreciate your great effort. I'm a VIP member. I benefited from your lessons, and I follow you on YouTube and podcasts. Thank you, Sarah, very much. So not really a question, just a comment. So I appreciate it. By the way, I like to get positive comments. It's very nice. It helps me to be motivated, teaching you, making more shows. It's a good feeling to know that I'm helping you. That's why I'm doing it. So it's good to know. So thank you very much. Okay, let's go now over to Twitter. So on Gab, it's gab.ai, Gab.ai. and then my account /ajhoge. On Twitter, it's twitter.com/ajhoge. Same, my name. Okay. This is a nice question from Win Bao on Twitter. Hi, AJ. Should I retell the story, the mini story lesson, talking about? Should I retell the story after I finish a lesson set in Power English? Good question. Story retells. Should you do it? Should you do it, or should you just listen and answer the questions? Well, the answer is either one. It's up to you. It depends on your confidence level, honestly. If you are just starting Power English, and if you are not confident about speaking, right? My speaking's too slow, the lesson feels difficult, then just listen. You don't need to retell. It's not necessary to retell the story. See, sometimes I say you can retell the story. So you listen to the mini story, and in the mini story I ask questions. So yes, you answer those questions with a loud voice. But at the end of the story, you pause or stop it. If you want to, you can then, with a loud voice, tell the whole story yourself, as much as you can remember, using the new phrases, the new vocabulary, if possible. You can do that, but it's not required. So again, if it feels too difficult, just listen. Maybe for the first few days, the first 3-4 days, no retell. Just listen, right? Each time you'll know the story better and better. You'll learn the vocabulary better and better. You'll learn the phrases better, and therefore the grammar better. So maybe after 4 days or 5 days or 7 days, you're feeling much more confident. You know the story very well. Then you could stop the story and then retell it. Tell it with your own voice, with a loud voice. Tell the whole story, practicing your speaking. So that's what I recommend. Retelling the stories is very useful, especially for speaking. It will start to help your speaking fluency better. But it's optional. Do it if you feel confident to do it, but if it creates stress, then it's not necessary. Okay. Returning to this topic of focusing on the passionate love of English, creating that passionate love, that emotion. We could also think about this, think about it with people. Instead of English, think about it with people. Imagine 2 people. Now, one person, you work with them at their job, or maybe if you're a student, then they're in your class. And every day you must see them. You must spend time with them every day. The problem is you don't really like them. They're a little boring. You don't really like them. So every day you go to work. You work with them, so what do? Well, you kind of force yourself to talk to them, to be friendly. Hi, how you doing? Right, you're a nice person. You need to do it because they're at your job, but you don't really like it. Therefore, you do it as little as possible, right? You do what's necessary, and that's all. And so your relationship with them is kind of, it's okay, right? To do extra, you really have to force and push yourself. It requires a lot of effort. Now imagine the second person. The second person is someone that you passionately love. You love them with incredible emotion. Maybe it's like a girlfriend or a boyfriend, husband, wife. Maybe it's your child or your parent or your best friend. You love them deep down in your heart. Now with them, is it hard to spend time with them? Do you need effort to spend time with them? Do you need effort to talk to them and be friendly with them? No. You want to be with them as much as possible. You can imagine when you first fall in love with someone, right? You spend 4 hours with them. It's not enough. You want 5, you want 8, you want 10, and then you say goodbye. Oh, it's so hard to say goodbye. You can't wait to see them again. Hopefully the next day you see them again. You call them on the phone when you get home. You talk to them for hours and hours and hours. No effort, because you have that passion obsession. If you're a parent, then you know, like with your own child, right? You want to see your children. You want to be with your children. It usually feels like you don't have enough time with them. Or with your closest friends, especially as you get older, you feel, oh God, I want to spend more and more time with them. You miss them. That's the feeling, that's the difference. That's the feeling you have with English. If you have that passionate love for English, then you want to spend more time with English. It's never enough. And at the end of the day, you go to sleep, you're excited the next day to be with English again. You can be with English every single day, and you're super happy for hours and hours and hours. That's what I want for you. Fall in love with English. Little by little, just do it. And hey, get on Twitter and talk to some of these superstar VIP members that have done this. You can ask for their advice. How did they do it? Why are they so passionate about English? What have they done to increase their enjoyment and love of and for English? That's all for today's show. Join my VIP program at effortlessenglishclub.com. Once again, go to effortlessenglishclub.com. Join my VIP program. See you next time.